Hey guys, welcome to another video here in the Ark Taming series, and this time we are after another modded creature from the Ark Additional Creatures 2 Wild Ark mod. We are after the Torosaurus, and there is a max level 180 right around the corner over here. However, there is a Tyranititan in the neighborhood, and we are going to have to kill said Tyranititan extremely quickly before it kills my buddies that I want to tame. So we're going to try to kill the Tyranititan and then get out of dodge. Okay, so unfortunately, that's not what I wanted to happen. Clearly, we have bitten one of the guys that we want to tame. So we're going to get out of dodge. Hopefully they will de-aggro in time for me to come back. I don't necessarily want to trap them or anything like that. So we're going to try to kill the 174. I don't know, the 174 has purple in it though. Are you okay for this? Huh? Yeah, there's a Mountain Dew on the right side. Oh, yeah, you probably meant I probably thought the right side of the fridge. I got you. Alright, so normally I don't do this, but since they're very close to the same level, and one of them is prettier than the other, I'm going to get rid of this one. Then we will de-aggro the last one, I hope. And, okay, so first let's go ahead and do this. And then we will do this. And we will miss because the dino wanted to eat. And now that'll miss because I don't know why. Alright, that's not exactly what I wanted. Alright, we got the Torosaurus knocked out. Finally, some good news. Alright, so we have to be careful. We are on Ragnarok, and this is a Giga spawn. So we need to be pretty careful with this. Those are obviously better narcotics, trank darts. So they are way better than normal trank darts. But I'm also going to speed up this process with my Binturong from the same mod. That's going to increase his food drain. And while we wait for him to get hungry, I will read a little bit about him for y'all. The Torosaurus, they spawn in the grasslands, the redwoods, the sunken forest, and the tundra biodome. They are a trank or a passive tame. So you can actually passively tame them as well. Just by going up to them and feeding them by hand. Obviously, we are not doing it that way. The Torosaurus is a unique ceratopsian in multiple ways. Firstly, it is an omnivore. While able to digest meat, it is fortunately not predatory like the dire bear or the Deinocheirus. It prefers to graze on grasses and is partial to fruits and vegetables. Meat seems to only be when it needs to proteins to help recover from wounds. That's not English, but that's what it says. As they are sometimes seen feasting on predators they kill after intensive battles. More docile than Triceratops, while they can be hand-fed, they are just as aggressive if provoked. Another unique feature of the Torosaurus comes out with this aggression. Its intimidation factor. Torosaurus's frill actually has a pattern on it in the shape of the face of a predatory carnivore, most familiarly a tyrannosaur. I didn't realize that. We'll have to check that out after we tame it. And it tends to display this frill while emitting deep carnivore-like rumbling in order to drive off smaller predators. Combined with the fact that the frill eye spots glow in the dark, this is extremely effective. It is in effect similar to the intimidation roars many creatures on the Arks can do, but due to the intimidating display of the Torosaurus, it can affect larger, more medium-sized creatures as well. This makes Torosaurus a viable, flexible mount for survivors who can obtain one. This is omnivorous, but not like most other creatures. The meat and berry veggie taming values on Torosaurus are swapped. It prefers veggies and berries for taming, with meat being overall ineffective for taming. However, it can still be fed meat to recover from injuries. As I said earlier, it is docile when it's approached, and it can sit when it's tamed to recover health. Okay? So, yeah, let's put some food in it. It seems to prefer superior kibble and then giant bee honey, interestingly enough. So we'll put some superior kibble in this bad boy. So my taming settings are 2.5 times, and it wants 7 kibble for that amount of time. Like that, we have very much starve tamed it. Oh yeah, so you can kind of see. All right, let's tell him to stop following me first of all. So you can kind of see you can kind of see the T-Rex on it right there, right? That's pretty dope. Looks like eyeballs. That probably looks dope as hell after dark too. All right, so let's get this guy back to the base, and then we'll put a saddle on it, and we'll see what it does. Okay. Right, that's not the right base. Cool. Cool. Alright, here we go. Okay, so the saddle for the Torosaur is unlocked at level 40 and takes fiber, hide, and wood. And like most modded saddles, you can make them right in your own inventory. Okay, so we're going to do so. And let's toss him out. And so here he is, or she, rather. Put the saddle on. So. And now that it's dark-ish, let's see what it looks like. Oh, that's so cool. Alright, so let's take this off. That looks dope. Okay, I'm glad we got this one instead of the other one. Okay, so they are pretty fast. As opposed to that looks like a T-Rex. That's pretty dope. Alright, so again, as I said earlier, you can go up to it and you can hold R on it. Or, never mind, let's try E. And then you can tell it to sit down. Now, when it is in sit-down mode, it will recover health, I think, double fast as if it wasn't sitting down. So remember that. And in order to make it stand up, you go back in to the radial wheel again. Now, it's got several attacks. And so we will go pick a fight with something. The left click is a head/horn attack that has really good knockback and decent damage. Alright. Oh yeah, it does really good damage. And then right click is a bite attack, and it will also harvest. It's not as good as the knockback or the head thing. Oh, yeah, you can see the knockback of it. And then the C key does a kick attack, like so. So you go up to something and you smack it in the face with your back feet, like that. Okay. Now, when you left click, it will harvest even meat. See that? It even harvests meat, y'all. But you can also go up to like bushes and stuff, and it will harvest the bushes also. Now, the X key. Now, first of all, the C key cannot be used while you're moving either. So, like if you're running, it will stop and then you can do it. So technically it will work when you're moving, but it will stop you automatically, okay? Now the X key does an intimidation display that looks like this. Alright? And while that cannot be used while moving or running, it has the same effect as intimidation. It does minus 25% attack and defense against you. but it can be inflicted on targets up to a level up to 250 drag weight, and it will scare the target away while weakening them at the same time. And after a time, they will become temporarily immune to the debuff. So remember that. Eventually, the debuff will stop working against them. So, like, you can go up to this guy, and you can see it's given him a debuff called Intimidated, right? And he's going to try to run away. And that's going to make him weaker, okay? Now, left control also does a roar, which is just an aesthetic. It does absolutely nothing. But that's essentially the Torosaurus from the Additional Creatures 2 Wild Ark mod. That thing looks really dope at night. Let me get rid of the Binturong, because the Binturong is kind of, it's emitting light because it's a luminous. So let me go ahead and get rid of him, so that way you can kind of see how this glows in the dark. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So yeah, that is the Torosaurus. I just want to bite one bush and see how it is in camera. And not too bad. Probably about the same as like a typical trike. But yeah, level 40 is the saddle. This is the Torosaurus. What do you guys think of it if you haven't seen it before? Yeah, if you guys are just seeing my channel for the first time, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, show it some love by hitting the like button. And if you'd like to see more like this one here, we release a new Ark Taming series video every single week here on the Boston Chris Show. Thank you all for tuning in.